And I'm like, what is this, good cop, bad cop? Like, this lady just basically told me that I have a high potential of getting into a motorcycle accident and killing myself. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Long time no talk. I decided to do something new today, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna do story times. Why are we breaking, guys? Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. I'm going to be doing story times here and there. So, oh, that's dope. How did I miss that? So I got a request to talk about my first time riding. So I guess we can get into this story. My first time riding was in the MSF Course. And when I tell y'all, I think it was the first day. The first day I was a little nervous because, you know, the bike was heavy. I don't know what I expected. I have no idea, but it was heavy. And I was like, how am I supposed to control this thing? Mind you, this is my first time riding. I barely know how to ride like a regular bicycle. So, yeah, that was a little backwards there. But I got on the bike and I was on a Rebel. It was an older Rebel, so it was a little heavier than the ones that there are now, because it was like a lot. It was a lot of metal. It was just a heavier bike. And I got on the bike and I asked if there was something a little lighter, and there was. I was just too short to get on those. Why do my reflection look so thick? Okay, that's more like what? Cause I'm like, I know I ain't juicy like that. I know that. Okay. So I got on the bike just to get a feel for it, and I was like, okay, I'm comfortable. First drill we had to do was the sweet spot, like just getting used to the sweet spot. So I stalled once and I was like, what is this? They were like, because they used me as an example, so they said, go you go first and test it out. And I let out too quick, and of course the bike stalled. So I was like, oh my god, I gotta worry about the bike stalling, and I gotta worry about this, that, and the third. I was just so nervous. Granted, we had already talked about this stuff in the class, like don't let out too fast, but I had never driven a stick shift, so it was a lot. It was a lot. And then I got used to the sweet spot, and we finished that exercise. The next exercise we had to do was go around the parking lot, like in like a large circle, and then stop. So I did that, and at the end of going around the circle, y'all, I panicked and accidentally popped a wheelie. But I popped the wheelie so crazy that the bike came up, not me. The bike went up, and my hands were still on the handlebars. So the bike went up like this, hands still on the handlebars. Mind you, I did not let go. I pulled in on the brake. I don't know how. I don't even know how to pop a wheelie, but I just remember pulling in on the brake when the bike started going up, and I had already had my hand pulled in on the clutch. I stopped in front of the instructor when I panicked, trying not to hit him with the bike. So I pulled in on the brake and the clutch really quick. I didn't hit him, but when I tell you that thing flew up something crazy, I was like, oh my god. So bike goes up in the wheelie. I'm like standing straight up and down holding the bike up, and the instructor his face is literally in front of the front wheel, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm shooketh. You hear me? I'm so scared. I was like, I told him, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this no more. He was like, first off, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. He was like, keep going. I'm like, what you mean keep going, sir? I almost hit you. I almost took you out today, and you want me to keep going? You sure about this, sir? Like, Are you sure? Oh, the dog is so cute. Oh, it's another one. Look at the babies. Oh, it's an actual baby. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm like, sir, what do you mean keep going? Like, you're sure? He was like, it's fine. We all, panic a little bit. He was like, the only reason I'm telling you to keep going is because you did the right thing and pulling in the clutch and the brake. And I was like, huh, I did the right thing. And he said, you didn't drop the bike. And I was like, I wouldn't go drop this. This ain't mine. I'm not damaging nobody's property, okay? Can I ask for a police escort so they can, like, go through all of the lights while I tell my story so I don't have to keep stopping? What you think they're gonna say? I'm not gonna ask them. I might get cussed out. Or they might laugh. I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. Nope. I kept going that day, and the whole rest of that session I was just on high alert. And I talked during the break. I went to the side and talked to the instructor. I was like, does this get easier? He said, yeah. He was like, so far you did do what you were supposed to do. You just had a moment. And he said, I've seen a lot worse where people just kept going and somebody went through the fence. I was like, oh yeah, that wasn't gonna be me. Not today, sir. No, thank you. And so I kept going. When I got home that day, I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back for the next riding day. I'm not sure if that's what I really want to do, because I think I was just scared. Like, I was really scared. So I kept going. That night I took a shower, I meditated just to get my mind together, and then I went back the next day because my session was Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. And with it being Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, I had to go back the next day. So the first day consisted of half class, half range, and then the next day I was going back was all range. So I'm like, I guess I gotta expect to do range this whole day and not be scared. So I was like, let's get it. Like, I wanted to do this. The next day came when I had to go to the class, and when I tell y'all, I woke up so sore. I was so sore. Like, my arms, my legs, my hips, parts of me that had muscles I didn't know they had, everything hurt. So I'm like, how am I gonna get through this class if everything hurts? But I went because I'm like, I also don't work out, so I mean, it's to be expected that everything will hurt. I wasn't surprised by that. I go to the class, and I was nervous, but I wasn't terribly nervous. Like, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready. I should be fine. Get to the class, put my helmet on, get on the bike, and I did better that day. But one of the people that was in the class, he did something similar to what I did, but he kept going and stopped right before he hit the fence. And one of the female instructors, because there was 2 female instructors and a male instructor. The first day it was a male and a female. The second day it was 2 females. So one of the female instructors was just like, why would you, I'm sorry if y'all heard all that wind. She was like, why would you do that? Why didn't you stop? And she just made him feel really bad. And everybody else in the class was talking to him. Like, we were all like, yo bro, don't worry about it. Like, you didn't hurt yourself. You're fine. The bike didn't fall. Like, don't worry about it. And he was just quiet the rest of the class. And I just felt so bad for him, because she really, if I were him, I would have been really, 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 really embarrassed, because she just did not care how she was talking to him. And I'm just like, why would she talk to him like that? So the other female instructor was next to us while the first one was yelling at the guy and just belittling him. And we were looking at her like, yo, what's wrong with your girl? Like, she tripping. What's going on? Like, what's that about? And she was like, I don't even know, don't worry about it. Like, I don't know. Like, she really didn't have no words. She didn't know what to say to us about the lady's attitude, because the attitude was not merited. The boy messed up. He doesn't ride. Like, why would you talk to him like that? So class ends, and all of the students are talking, and we just like, we don't like her because she got a bad attitude. Like, she don't know how to talk to people. And the guy, he's still quiet, not saying nothing. The following Saturday comes up for the third class, and he's not there. And we were just like, maybe he's gonna be late. So the two female coaches, rider coaches, they the teachers, they were there the third day. So the guy did not come back. They waited about, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes before we started the class, and he wasn't coming, so we started. And I was like, I don't blame him. Like, he probably felt bad and was scared, so he ended up not coming back. And when you don't come back, you can't continue. If you miss one class, you got to start all over. So we finished that class, and the next day was time for the test. Throughout the class sessions, the only thing that I really like struggled with was I was scared to get the bike into second gear. Look at me now. But I was scared to get the bike into second gear because I did not want to go fast. I was just like, this little bitty parking lot, how I'm supposed to get up into second gear? I was just nervous. So with my issue being that I was scared to get into second gear, that was a part of the test. And my other thing, so I was scared to go into second, and I was also struggling with the U-turns in a parking space. So it's about this big, as big as this lane is, and maybe the middle of where that little ramp part is. So it's just that big, and I gotta make a U-turn. I could make it, but I psyched myself out and put my foot down, which I think most of us do. So I was struggling with that. Time for the class to start on the last day. This last day is half class, half exam. So we finished off the class portion, and then it was time for the exam. I did great on everything. Like, I did really good on the quick stops, like going over objects, dodging stuff. I did really good. When it came to the U-turn portion, I did good too. I was about to put my foot down, and I hurried up and picked it up, so my foot didn't touch the ground, so I did good on that part. Now it's time to go into second. Mind you, throughout the course of the classes, my bike kept stalling, even after like I got comfortable with the sweet spot and stuff. And on one of the exercises, my bike stalled going up a hill, and I couldn't start it back. And one of the instructors tried to fix it, and it just wasn't working. So come time for this portion of the exam where I have to go in a second. I go into a second, I think it was like a straightaway and then a turn. So right when I got to the middle of the straightaway, I went up in a second. I go up in a second, and I couldn't slow down because I was approaching a turn. You're not supposed to do that. So I'm flying around this curve, but I feel like I got control of the bike. Like, it didn't feel like I was going too fast. I felt fine. But as I was going around the curve, the peg scraped the ground. And I was like, that's never happened. Like, I'm leaning, but I didn't know that I could do that. So the peg scraped the ground. I get around the curve, and one of the instructors was like, okay, good. And then the other one was, she just had this look on her face, like real stank. Like, I'm like, okay, miss ma'am, I know I probably messed up. I ain't never did that before. I ain't know that I could do that. And so it's time for the writing portion of the exam, and we are about to go in the classroom, but we got to get our results first. So in order to go into the classroom to take the written portion, we have to pass the range portion. Yeah. This part really made me not even want to ride at all. Like, not even finish the class. Just, I didn't want to. So I get my results from the range portion of the test, and one of the ladies said, you did really good on everything. It was just this one thing. I'm like, okay, cool. The other lady, the one that no one likes, said, you almost didn't pass. You barely passed. And I looked, I was like, because I messed up on this one thing. Like, I had my results in front of me. She's like, you barely passed. I'm like, did I pass or not? First off, it's either you passed or you didn't. Don't say, oh, you barely passed. What's wrong with you? And I looked at her like, huh? So she's like, you barely passed. I was like, oh, okay, I must have really messed up. Then proceeds to say, you barely passed, but you did pass. However, I need you to practice more, because I would hate for you to get in the street and get into an accident. And I'm like, I'm gonna get into an accident? I did that bad that I'm gonna get into an accident? Like, I'm gonna hurt myself, probably kill somebody or kill myself? Like, what? And she was like, yeah, I would hate to have to see your face on the news for a fatal motorcycle accident. And I'm just like, excuse me? Y'all, in the comment section below, let me know if that's something that you would tell somebody that has never ridden before, that had just finished the road portion of the test. Like, let me know if that's what y'all would say. So she said that, and I'm terrified. Like, I'm like, I don't think I want to do this. And then the other lady immediately was like, but overall throughout the class you did good, and you passed. And I'm like, what is this, good cop bad cop? Like, this lady just basically told me that I have a high potential of getting into a motorcycle accident and killing myself. And I'm just like, why would you say something like that? So I go in for the written portion of the test, passed that. But even after I passed the test, I was like, this lady told me that I could kill myself because I messed this part up. And I'm just like, this must be a really important part. Like, what is going on? So that was my first time riding. As you can see, I did not stop, because I'm on my little red thing now, and I just kept with it. But my first experience was super traumatizing, because that lady she made it really hard and really scary, and I didn't feel encouraged to continue or to even practice after hearing something like that. That's not what you say to somebody. Okay, had to change the battery. So let's get back to the story. While y'all at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So now that this experienced rider, coach, and just teacher, like instructor, done told me that I might kill myself, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I don't even think I want to do this no more. But yeah, that was my first experience riding. Pretty traumatizing, especially with her saying that. And yeah, so I hope y'all don't have an instructor like that. If y'all did, let me know what your experience was and how you handled it. Did you continue to ride? Did you not? But yeah, man, I kept at it. I'm not known to be a quitter, and I'm very competitive, so clearly I got it together, and I kept it pushing because I really did want to ride. I just needed a month to gather myself after she said that, because I just felt I was so scared. I do hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If y'all want more story times, and it does not have to be motorcycle related, let me know what y'all want me to talk about, and I will slide it into the story times. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Oh, now I gotta sit in this traffic. This sucks. But let me know if y'all enjoyed this. If y'all did, just let me know. Please be honest. Do not lie to me, okay? But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.